Hello, I will explain you the key concepts of credit cards and the debit cards. They both majorly use EMV technology. EMV technology stands for the E for Europay, M for Mastercard, and V for Visa. EMV stands for Europay, Mastercard, and the Visa. Most of our credit or debit cards are using this technology to perform the transactions. This is a special case. So for the developers, they have provided some test cards so that user can during the development developers can test the transactional process using the fake cards, or you can say using the test cards. These are few cards I was working on a project and I received these cards, and these cards are covering all of the scenario of our credit and or debit card. The set contains approximately 21 cards and with different technical scenarios. I will explain you each and every scenario from this image, which is visible to your screen. So let's start from this section. Before starting, let me explain you a few things. This section on the card called the chip. This section on the card called the mag strip, and this section with the sign of Wi-Fi called the NFC. So NFC is contactless transaction. Chip and mag strip are the contact transaction, meaning that when a user go to the go towards the cashier and present his card, if cashier is inserting his card, it is a contact transaction. If cashier is swiping, meaning that the mag strip will be used. If the cashier is swiping the card, it is a contact transaction. But if cashier just tap the card on the machine, it is a contactless transaction. So let's move to these images to understand it further. I have the set of all these cards which are visible to your image. So let me keep them aside. These are all the cards, like different technical scenarios are written on them. So the test card number one, which will cover our technical scenario, dual interface and the online only. Dual interface meaning that contact and contactless transaction. Online only meaning that the transaction will be verified, or the pin will be verified from the issuer. Issuer is your bank. So when you insert the card and the transaction and enter your pin, the pin will be verified from the issuer, and then the transaction will be completed. The offline pin meaning on the offline only meaning that the pin will be verified by the terminal or this device. This device called the terminal or the POS device. There are different type of devices, but this is just one sample. Dual interface meaning that contactless and contact. Offline capable meaning that the card can process the transaction without connecting to the internet or without uh, going to the issuer for pin verification. Signatures and only. You remember earlier when we were doing the transactions, the cashier asked us to sign on a receipt. The major basic purpose of this signature is cashier. It is the responsibility of the cashier to match the signature on the receipt and the signature which normally user do on the back side of their card. So if they matches, it is a manual security, you can say. But most of the we are not using nowadays in 2024. Online only meaning that the pin will be verified from the issuer or from the bank. No CVM. CVM stands for the customer verification method. uh, on this card the bank policies apply, like a few banks allow to perform the verification method for a small amount. Let's suppose if you perform a transaction of $10, the device will not ask you for the pin. But if on the same device, if you perform a transaction of $20, they might ask you for the pin. The card is same, the machine is same, the pin is same, the everything is same, but it is the policy of the bank. Like can set a CVM limit on the cards, and there might be some cards like they will not ask the pin. This card is for that testing purpose. Fallback is a scenario where this chip will not be read by the terminal device. Like the data inside this chip will not be read by this terminal device. The fallback condition will occur. This can be due to any reason, like uh, chip is broken, the chip is anything, like card is broken or anything can be happen. So this technical point will be triggered. Dual interface, again, contactless and the contacts. Online only, I already explained. Oh, I already explained. So the dual in the next card is offline capable, meaning that the the transaction can be completed without going to the issuer for the verification, for the PIN verification. Issuer is your bank. ARPC verification fails. ARPC and ARQC are two major concepts in the EMV transactions. ARPC is authorization request cryptogram. So when you insert your card inside this machine, or anyway, like when you start a transaction, this machine will read the information from this card and will create a ARPC. The two things will be combined and will send to the payment gateway, and payment gateway will send to the issuer or to your bank. Issuer is your bank which issues you this card. So ARPC request will be sent to the issuer, and if the card information is correct, expiry date, card is not tampered, or everything is correct, then on the success response of ARPC, on the success, or meaning that all information is correct, then on the against the ARPC, the issuer will generate a ARQC, application response cryptogram, which will be sent to the device and transaction will be processed. Fallback, as we already discussed, empty candidate list, like there can be a scenario where this card, normally issued by the Visa, Mastercard, or the Europay, does not contain the information like the chip. This is you can say a sort of a kind of fallback. The application in these are the applications. Chip, NFC, and MaxSwift are the application, and the payment network is EMV. So if anything is missing, this call will be triggered. Contact OEP CDA. CDA is a Canadian Interact Authority, and Contact OEP is online enciphered PIN. So the online enciphered PIN, offline enciphered PIN is similar to the offline, and Canadian Interact is a CDA is a payment network similar to the Mastercard and the Visas. Online only, we already discussed fallback. We already discussed fallback. Debit network alliance. That there are in United States, there are some companies which only deals with the network of the debit card. So this card will obey the rules of this section. A global and common AID. Okay, global and common AIDs. AID stands for the application ID. Application ID is something like this single card. This single card can contain information of more than one cards. On either it can be two cards or three cards. In US, normally it happens one card can contain more than application IDs. In this case, when you insert the card, a pop-up will occur. User will select the from which account the from which payment ID that amount will be processed. But remember, there is only one host account associated to these AIDs. So all the records will be managed by only the bank account. This is the same, and Mastercard is majorly for the master transactions, master stuff. Thank you so much. That's it for this video.